liberation and emancipation is long overdue. Because if you look into the Luo input in the Kenyan society today, right from the independence, we had Tom Mboya writing the Constitution of Kenya. We had it all. There was an initiation of trying to have an architectural design of our cities in this country, which were done by Tom Mboya. Now, if you look at it again, we have to look into the Luo development politically and also economically. But the bigger word is development. And I want to tell you how we've lost it politically. Look into the division of the districts in this country. When Jomo Kenyatta, the first president of this republic, was doing the boundary subdivision of these boundaries, there were districts and everything in Masi. And now he asked Oginga, how then do we divide the Luo Nyanza? And Oginga Dinga chose on having two districts only, the South Nyanza district and the Central Nyanza district. Only two districts, whereas Kenyatta had several districts. And as you know, these districts were the main units as to which developments were going to come. Employments were going to start from there. And Luos and Mase, who worked so hard, decided to sleep very early on the bed when now resources were being divided. At that time, districts were very, very much important. We saw the replica of this. The Lord God gave us this second opportunity. I remember when Kibaki was dishing out districts. From the year 2010, everywhere district. We asked Raila Amolo Odinga, I think Orengo asked that question. And the answer there was that districts do not bring development. We did not have even a single district from Mwai Kibaki. Several other areas had districts. At this time, we had Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga in government as the Prime Minister. And he chose not to bring a single district to Luo Nyanza. And these are administrative divisions which are used to trickle down resources, which are going to empower people, which are going to employ people, which are going to ensure that people are running on without the threats of poverty and any other thing, and ensuring that food basket was going to be assured. But what do we have today in the Luo Nyanza? We are fighting poverty alleviation, which is going on and on and on. Immediately after that, we had what was called the constituencies, the constituencies, the BBI. BBI was brought here. It was brought when Raila was having a good bromance by Uhuru Kenyatta. And BBI was a brainchild of what was called the handshake government. I was shocked how BBI was going to only give Luo Nyanza 2 constituencies and over 100 constituencies in Mount Kenya. Then I'm asking myself then, if you sit with your brother on the table, choosing to divide a cake, what do you go away with? I think from where I sit that Raila Amolo Odinga is not a good negotiator. He's not a good negotiator. How can you sit with a friend of yours? You're working and then you choose to take 2 home, having a number almost the same in your own constituency base. That was very wrong. I think these are some of the mistakes that has made Luo Nyanza to be in a situation of absurd poverty. Now, let us look in focus, because some people always tend to believe that Luo Nyanza always find themselves in opposition. I say Luo Nyanza is the most blessed block in the Republic of Kenya. Why? After every 5 years, we are in government. Because it is now in the public domain that Raila Amolo Odinga is no longer interested in winning the presidency. He's not interested in whichever way playing games to hail into the top seat. His interest is on getting a share of the government, which he normally gets more than a half. Today he got his own share and Gachagua is out. The other time, during Uhuru Kenyatta's regime, he got his own share and the current president, William Ruto, was seriously alienated. He was seriously thrown to the dogs and he was seriously put aside and shredded. Today, we are on a situation where we are asking ourselves, where did we lose it? Even in terms of winning the presidency, the greatest near that we ever came was through the Solomonic judgment by Gachagua, who told us in court that go here and seek for re-election again, both Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. But what did we choose to do? We chose to go for a handshake, rendering Maraga with his own wisdom now to be a childish. The entire judgment was like an academic exercise, which was not right at all. Now, again, if you look into what we have been able to manage, what we've been able to get from all these kind of, the nusu mukate, the handshake, and the everything that we've always found ourselves into, you are going to realize that it is very little to call. Today, as we speak, we've had a scenario where the president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, came to Luo Nyanza. And the best that our leaders asked from the then government was the BBI. A BBI, a document, a brainchild of the handshake that was not going to develop Luo Nyanza in any way. So sad, and that's why Gachagua was fighting for it, because the BBI document was going to ensure that resources are being taken in mass to the Mount Kenya zone of this country. You see, we have leaders who have been taking us for a ride for a very long time, making us believe that when one leader is okay, then all of us are okay. That is so sad. Raila Amolo Odinga has not been able to market the Luo products. We've seen him chewing miraa, ensuring that miraa, I remember during that time, miraa was banned in Britain. And Raila Amolo Odinga went all the way to Meru, chewing miraa. He took a plane going to London to go and market miraa. Coming back, I think he even petitioned the then President Uhuru Kenyatta to ensure that miraa was bailed out using taxpayers' money of Kenya, tuning to 2 billion Kenya shillings. That is not Luoland. I am talking of Mount Kenya West, and I am talking of Meru County, to be precise. At that time, we had Sony Sugar on its knees, Mumias Sugar on its knees. And at that time, Mumias only needed 1.3 billion to be in full operation, surely. And you know what Mumias is. You know what sugar is. You know the importance of sugar and the greater importance of byproducts of sugar. And you know very well that the greatest sugar belt, the only sugar belt that we have, lies in the western part of Kenya. That was never done. It was never considered. Anyways, you know the byproduct of sugar itself. We get molasses from it. You saw the other time when Kidero, during his tenure as the MD of Mumias, they were even producing electricity from Mumias. Now, Mumias, a sugar company, only needed 1.3 billion Kenyan shillings to go back to its full operation. And here we had miraa, something that is illegal. Illegal because it was sounded illegal and declared illegal in the Parliament of Britain. We had our own leader going there, bromance with them, and in cahoots with them, and chewing miraa, and going back to Britain, and coming back, and sitting down with the president, and ensuring that the miraa farmers are bailed off using the taxpayers' money of 2 billion Kenyan shillings. What was the priority? What was the priority? Look at what is happening right now. We have now the tea. As we speak, we are now in what is called broad-based. Broad-based has ensured that issues of tea are catered for very well and coffee in this republic. But there is a bill in parliament. Painfully, we have a bill in parliament. Seriously, we have a bill in parliament that aggressively is going to ensure that all the sugar companies in Kenya are privatized. To whose benefit? If you go to China today, you are going to find a milling machine for sugar is going at 200 million. We had Obado the other time, the governor of Migori, asking the then government, please, instead of privatizing, Owino, whatever, Sony Sugar Company, why then don't you give it back to Migori county government to be able to run it? And indeed, they can run it. Because a mailer for sugar goes for 200 million. And the Chinese people are going to come here, install it for free, come with their engineers, install it here for free. And this is going to ensure that we have our own people who are also employed en masse. Luo Nyanza, it is time we smell the coffee. Because if we look around, there is no leader in Luo Nyanza that can be given 20 years to be a performer. Look at Orengo. All these people are in their 80s and 70s. We only have our hopes embedded on one body politic, one persona, one intellectual mogul, one great man of Kisumu boys, an alumni called Babu Owino. And that is the man that we are going to move on with. Irregardless of whatever Kaluma Opondo says, that Babu Owino, I don't know, comes from whatever, we do not care. This man is an aboriginal of Luoland and is a man who has got a political capital in Nairobi, a man who is an MP of Embakasi East. Being an MP of Embakasi East, you cannot be if you are not a person who is not likable. Because in Embakasi East, Luos are only a composition of merely 0.5%. The remaining ones are the Gikuyu, the Somali, the Kambas, and the rest. So Babu Owino can do with or without ODM, and we are going to support him. We cannot be in a situation or in a society that is conspiring to bring down its young leaders. It was done to Raphael Tuju, and Tuju is gone. We are not going to sit down as Gen Zs as we look onto our own, the one and the only Babu Owino who is fighting for our plight. Because this is Kenya, and Kenya is